Hello trade pros. In today's video, I'm going to share 7 quotes with you from great traders that could turn around your performance. Let's jump right into it. Quote number 1 is from Victor Sperando, and he says, "The key to trading success is emotional discipline. If intelligence were the key, there would be a lot more people making money trading." I know this will sound like a cliche, but the single most important reason that people lose money in the financial markets is that they don't cut their losses short. All right, and I love this quote personally because in the daily trading room, I do the exact same thing. We have the intent to get into a good trade and make some good money, but when things turn around against us, one of the biggest losses or one of the biggest causes of losses is that you start to say, hey, it's going to turn around. And even worse, you start to put more money into a small trade, and what began as a tiny entry ends up being a massive exposure, all in the name of defending your ego and your bias. When you start to get a loss, you have to cut it short. When you get a loss to begin with, before you even get into a trade, you should know your optimal exits for where you're going to get out for a stop loss and where you're going to get out for a profit. We have a lot of videos on risk management in the section below. You can click the link and see that YouTube watch list. I love this quote and I live by it myself. Quote number 2 is from the great Jesse Livermore. Jesse had a very turbulent life. He had a lot of ups and downs, but one thing you can't deny is his knowledge and his prowess during trading. He had some great stretches and he put out a lot of awesome ideas. Here's my favorite quote from him. "The desire for constant action, irrespective of underlying conditions, is responsible for many losses in Wall Street, even among the professionals, who feel that they must take home some money every day, as though they're working for regular wages." I absolutely love this quote from Jesse because it's absolutely true. A lot of traders coming into Trade Pro Academy will say, I want to make $500, $1,000, $2,000 a day and every single day. While that might be possible in a good corporate job, it's not a possible thing in a variable industry like the markets. So you have to get ready to take advantage of the opportunity that you're given in the market and not look to hit a certain target every day. Now, I have a daily target and I shoot for it. But if I see that it's a little bit of a stretch or the day is a little bit slower, I'll wind down my contract size and I'll actually trade less and tell myself if I hit my target, great. If not, there's always going to be a tomorrow. Today could be a day that you only make $500 shooting for $1,000 of your daily target, but tomorrow you could make $1,500. So it's all about the long run average when you're looking at daily income. The third quote is from Peter Lynch, and he says, "In this business, if you're good, you're right 6 times out of 10. You're never going to be right 9 times or even 10. So what he says here is a very important concept. A lot of the traders in the room ask me, what is my success rate? And I say anywhere between 60 to 70%. It's not about being right. The focus is about managing risk. Now here's the concept. Don't go for perfection. Every single trade you get into, don't take the trade if it only looks like it's going to be 100% probable. Because the trades that look the best actually end up costing you the most money and being losers in the long run. This is an inherently risky business, and while you adjust to that risk, you should never look for perfection and never look to be 100% right. Check the ego at the door and don't look to be right, be profitable. I absolutely love that quote for that reason from Peter Lynch, and I support it and believe in it deeply myself. Speaking of losing money and having a biased opinion and ego, this next quote is from Adam Grimes, and this sums up my entire belief system around this topic in just one sentence. Adam Grimes says, you could lose your opinion or you could lose your money. And I strongly believe in that. You've got 2 choices. Either ditch the bias or ditch the opinion and having the need to be right and make money, or look to be right and lose all of your capital. I prefer the first of the second because the best part about trading is there are days where you could be wrong and still make money if you manage your risk accordingly. But there are also days that are much worse where you're right and you satisfy your inner desire to be right, you feed your ego, but then you end up losing money. At the end of the day, you can't pay your bills and support your lifestyle with the currency of being right. That currency has no value to anyone else. So look to make money and stop looking to be right. Quote number 5, this comes from Larry Height, and he says, "I have 2 basic rules about winning in trading as well as in life. Rule number 1, if you don't bet, you can't win. Rule number 2, if you lose all your chips, you can't bet." So here's the thing about this rule. I encounter a lot of traders who go through our education, learn all the material, and at the beginning, why do we look for system strategies? Because they're boxed and we believe that here's a package, now go make millions of dollars. However, when it comes time to actually executing based on our analysis, many traders get paralyzed when they're on the mouse button ready to get into a trade. So here's where this quote comes in hand. You've got to be able to put out the chips when the time is right. If you've done your analysis, if you've back tested, and you trust yourself, when it comes time to executing the trade, you click the button and just do the trade. You eliminate the process of thinking at that point. All your thinking ends at the decision point of you getting into the trade. After that point, all you're doing is executing. There's no more thinking involved. This is why you should have a plan, because the plan will dictate how you manage your trade once it's open. If you're having issues with clicking the button to execute your trade, it comes down to one thing, and it's two subparts. There's a lack of confidence on your behalf. It's either a lack of confidence in the system you're using because you haven't back tested it and you haven't found an edge for yourself, or it's a lack of confidence in yourself as an operator. But it's a confidence issue, and we could work on that at TRADEPRO Academy. Quote number 6, this one comes from Steve Burns, and he says there's a huge difference between a good trade and good trading. And I really love this because we put so much of our emphasis on traders on any single one trade when we're first starting out. But you have to remember, if you're going to trade for 10, 20, 30 years and make this a viable career and support your family through this profession, what does this one trade really matter in the grand scheme of things? Any single one trade should have much less relevance than you think, and your entire history and overall account balance should have a lot more relevance than you're probably giving it already. At any single given moment, this trade that you're looking at in the grand scheme is just a little speck of dust on your timeline. So don't sweat the small trades, just make sure on the long run you're progressing and you're getting some good results and you're improving. What really satisfies the human soul is progress. And I'll tell you this much, when you finally become profitable, the thing you're gonna appreciate the most is the journey that took you up to that point. And here's my last quote, I'll end it off with this. I absolutely love this quote. This is one of my favorites because, it's by me. All right, so here's the quote. Professionals manage risk, amateurs chase returns. Always remember that. You start to think like a professional trader the day you wake up, sit down on your computer, and the first thought you get is, what am I gonna risk? Good profits come to good risk managers. Chasing returns is one of the quickest ways in this market to get your head chopped off and blow out an account. If you're not thinking like a professional, you're gonna be giving your money to the professional. So I invite you guys to join TRADEPRO Academy. If you want to day trade with us, we run a daily live trading room from Monday to Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And we also have an entire development package on the back end that will teach you every single step of the way that you need to be profitable and successful. And further to that, the community will support you to get you there. You're not alone. You have a friend in me, and every single person at TRADEPRO Academy in our community is here to help you. That's a powerful resource. All you have to do is decide you want to take action and get started. I'll see you guys in our TRADEPRO live trading room, or I'll see you in our weekly live webinars on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern that are included in any membership. So remember, always manage your risk and trade like a trade pro. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Keep these quotes in mind, keep these tips in mind, and I promise you're going to be further ahead than before you watch this video. I'll see you guys soon. Take care and have yourselves a phenomenal day. Goodbye.